Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Citrus County. My name's Connie, and I'm your High Watch Prayer Chaplain today. I will be available after the service, midway down the hallway, if you'd like to spend some time with me, if you have anything on your mind. Or you may speak to any of our prayer chaplains that are here today, if you'd like to stay with prayer chaplains. You can catch any of us if you'd like to talk to someone about what's going on in your mind with prayer. The lighting of the Christ candle represents that light that we all carry within ourselves, that we can let that grow and expand to our family, our community, and we can light up the world together. Take this moment now to make sure your cell phones are turned off so that we may enjoy the service that we have today. Namaste.
Never tell you you are anything. by realizing, by knowing, by affirming that we are miracles, each one of us. That our loving is a miracle. And this service is dedicated to loving. Loving our soul, our spirit, our body, our mind, our everything. Our everything. So what I'm going to invite us to do right now, everybody got a vial of bubbles. I want us to baptize each other with bubbles this morning. As we begin our service, I'm just going to invite us to gently blow. It takes a very gentle breath. And let's just baptize this sanctuary, this sacred living room with our sacred love this morning. And just feel that love coming back to you as those bubbles descend, as they rise and descend this morning, that we are one in divine love. There you go. I hope you're getting a picture of this. I hope you guys are getting a picture of this.
Oh, yeah.
To look around the room and watch the bubbles rise and descend. It's time for us to remember the beautiful inner child that is longing to be free. All right, now I'll never get you back. Okay. So we can do this for the whole hour. Oh, the whole hour. Just spread bubbles of joy. Spread bubbles of joy out into the atmosphere. Okay. Oh, wow. So with that energy, you guys, with that energy right now, I love it, laughing, giggling, like little children, remembering our sacred work. You're only 4 years old. That's what Michael just said. So let's just take a moment and center in our hearts. In the midst of the bubbles of joy all around us this morning, and the giggles that help us remember who we truly are. Take a moment and go within, close your eyes if you wish, and remember the sacred joy that is the very core of your being. You are a miracle. And your loving, your peace, your joy, your everything is a miracle. And as we remember that for ourselves, we can only see that everywhere. Because everywhere is a projection of who we are and why we're here. That we show up for each other with compassion and understanding and joy this morning. And a deep reverence and love for this community and for our world and for each other. And we truly give thanks that this is the day. This is the day the Lord has made for us to rejoice and be glad in it. And so it is. And so in the presence of love is where we stand today, as we all stand and sing our greeting song together.
In the presence of love, we bless this day. Our soul and wide, we gather to pray. Abundantly blessed, we raise our hands in the presence of love. In the presence of love, we bless this day. Our hearts open wide, we gather to pray. Abundantly blessed, we raise our hands in the presence of love. Abundantly blessed, we raise our hands in the presence of love.
You'll know exactly where it is, you just follow the crowd, and then we have some coffee and tea and a bunch of other little things that we can munch on and have a time to get to know each other. So welcome, join us at the Gratitude Cafe. You have come to a very special service, so I'm really happy that you are here. Everything is in divine order. So I am going to just share a few things. First of all, right after the service is a quarterly meeting. You'll have an opportunity to go to the cafe, get your coffee, get your goodies, and then come right back at 12 o'clock. And everyone is welcome to attend, even visitors. You're welcome to attend our quarterly meeting. That's from 12 to 1 o'clock, 1 hour. There are a couple of classes that are still ongoing. Tom's class, Angel Talks, is on Tuesdays. Make sure you look at your bulletin for more details about the class. It is usually from 3 to 5 p.m. Come to that class. I've been hearing a lot of really good things. So in your bulletin, there's a lot of details about the class. So Mary's class, our licensed Unity teacher, is offering a class on the history of Blue Floyd. And that's on Wednesdays, starting at 2 p.m. None of these classes, even though they've started, are closed. If you have not attended and you still want to attend, you're more than welcome to do that. Everyone is welcome to these classes at any time. In the past, we have been bringing coupons to share. We're going to ask you to hold off on bringing any more coupons for a little while, and then we'll let you know when we're going to start that up again. So for a little while, keep the coupons at home, and when we're ready, we'll let you know when you can start bringing them again. Next Sunday, Annie Baumgartner, a licensed Unity teacher, will be facilitating the Power Up class. Every month, we acknowledge one of our spiritual powers. And so during that class, we'll have an opportunity to understand what that power is about and how it lives in you and how you can express it in your life. So that will be next Sunday at 9 o'clock, just before the service. And then the school supplies that we have been collecting, we have one more week to collect them. We're doing really, really good. And we're going to be able to bless a lot of children, and that's kind of really exciting. So next week is the last time, the last opportunity that you'll have to bring in school supplies. So bring those in, and we'll make sure that they get into the hands of the people that really absolutely need them. And I believe it's a Hernando school. Is that correct, Bonnie? Yes, Hernando school. And one last thing, very important. Next Sunday is Potluck Sunday. And so we want to really spruce that up a little bit. So let's bring your goodies. Bring a covered dish that you want to share with others. Bring that to the potluck. It's a wonderful time of the month. Invite a friend to come over and share that with us. It's a great time to have fellowship with new people that come and for us to enjoy a really nice lunch together. So Potluck Sunday, next Sunday. Let's see if we can make this a really special one. With all that said, those are the announcements for today. Let us go to our affirmations. We begin with our affirmation of oneness. There is
one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now, God.
And the power of the month is understanding.
I am the power of divine understanding. I have the power of recognition, realization, and insight within me. Whatever we know God to be, I am.
And this is our vision statement.
Unity of Citrus is a positive path to spiritual living. Centered in God, we celebrate the Christ consciousness in a world of peace, harmony, and abundance for everyone.
And our mission?
We are here to provide a loving, accepting, and healing spiritual community that transforms lives in our world through prayer, education, and sacred service.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Luce.
I'm Lorna. I'm here to talk to you about giving today. Oh dear. In giving, I open to my highest purpose. Prayer of St. Francis tells us, for it is in giving that we receive. The simple act of sharing with someone opens my heart, creating an awareness of the energetic link between that person and myself. Every living thing is connected through the allness that is spirit. The carbon dioxide the plants need to survive is created in me, while the oxygen I need to breathe comes from plants. Today I look around and allow myself to see all the ways in which I'm contributing to the world, and realize all the world gives back to me in exchange. The more I give, the more my life receives, and the more expansively I express my divinity. A gift opens doors. It gives access to the great. Thank you. That was from Proverbs 18:16. Thank you.
Good job.
You can relax now. You can open your heart. You can open up your spiritual ears and your spiritual eyes to look deeply within. You can breathe deeply now. Know that you are being held in the sweet, precious arms of Holy Spirit, God. And that will never end. You are eternally held in the great arms of Spirit, held in a manger of great love, as you embrace yourself. And remember the precious miracle that you are. There is nothing you have to do. There is nothing you have to know. There is nowhere you need to go. But simply rest in the deep knowing that you and all of creation are one. You are safe here. You are loved here. You are at peace here in every single precious moment as you remember who you truly are. One with the most powerful presence there is, the love of God. You're invited right now to hold yourself in great arms of love as you whisper to yourself your own sacred lullaby. I am love. I am loving. I am the beloved one. So it is. I have got to read Wednesday's daily word. Play. Playfulness is part of my spiritual practice. Prayer and meditation are beneficial to my spiritual life. So too is play. Spending time in playful activity disengages my mind from outer concerns as I enjoy the present moment. Jesus told his disciples, "Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." As I courageously engage childlike aspects of myself, innocence, humility, playfulness, and more, I experience a release of stress and an increase in faith. Filling in coloring pages, hiking in the summer warmth, or singing songs in the car are simply ways I play in my adult life. Don't we all sing in the car? And in the bathroom, in the shower? How many?
Yeah.
Yay! Yay! In these moments, I am aware of the joy and love of divine presence expressing as me. I am divine. You are divine. We are divine. Sacred play, there you go. Wow. You know, I sat in awe and watched the faces of adults, mostly ministers and church leaders, when a bunch of clowns danced into the room at Brown Summit Retreat Center in North Carolina, and it was the fall of 1982. Do you know how many years ago that was? 36 years ago. Brown's Retreat Center was a Christian Disciples of Christ retreat center up in the mountains. It was beautiful. And a group of 100 or more grown-ups, we sat around in a circle on the first day of retreat, and we had our "I've got so much to do" faces on. You know those, look at your neighbor right now. And our serious, stressed out faces. And our response to the world was stress. And oh my God, what is the next news that's coming on, you know? And then in moved these silly clowns. They were outrageous fools, and they were dancing, and they were skipping, and they were hopping into the room, and not a word was said. Music playing in the background, sending the clowns. And our hard adult hearts began to melt. The clowns began to engage each person in that circle. Each clown had a bundle in their arms, and they held it tenderly next to their breast. It looked like a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, tenderly being held in the manger of their arms. And one by one, hearts opened as the clown offered each person in that circle a peek inside that bundle of joy. A bag of sunflower seeds. Holy mackerel, what? What in the world? But the metaphor was not of the world. The symbol of a divine idea, a seed idea that had been planted in the beginning in each heart and each soul. And it was a seed idea that you are precious and holy and worthy. You are a miracle. Just the way you are. As each clown, each holy fool, connected with each adult in that circle, laughter, laughter began to peel off the walls and echo in our ears, and our hearts were filled, our ears were filled with the sounds of infinite joy. We laughed, and it filled our souls with a remembering of a long ago forgotten dream. In our communion that morning, Disciples of Christ has communion every Sunday, y'all. But our communion that morning was a Dixie cup filled with water and sunflower seed. And laughter opened our hearts, and laughter filled our souls, the holiest of communions. And laughter healed any sense of separation. In a moment of unadulterated laughter, we bonded and we became one. and we knew our sacred worth by laughing together. And isn't that the case when you hear somebody laughing, don't you just want to be with them? What are they laughing about? You want to be part of it, you know? We laughed so hard, you all. Many of us cried. Our tears cleared our eyes and opened our hearts, and it was a true baptism of the heart. A holy, sacred tear running down our cheeks, and some of us, tears running down our legs. We were laughing so hard. So the clowns became a link. The clowns became a link to a forgotten little boy or a little girl. The precious child held in each heart by these grown-ups who have longed for a taste of joy again, of freedom, of their childhood. Don't we all want that? And I was one of them, big time. The seed was planted in my heart that day, a seed that would lead to the deep healing of my soul, that I'm still healing, you know? It is an eternal process of healing, growing. But a healing took place in me, and my wounded child, my very wounded child, met my divine wonder child, and my life has never been the same. A seed idea that would lead to an outrageous ministry that would become an international movement. I know many of you have heard of it. No, you haven't really. But it did. It became an international movement. Planetary Play Day in 2006 became the Noble Purpose Project of the Unity Movement. And I birthed it. I'm the big mother that birthed that beautiful ministry of laughter and play. And oh, how I believe that play needs to be revived on this planet today, right now, today. Because play is a sacred relationship with life. It goes beyond culture and religion and race and nationality. Play is about being in touch with the joy and the sorrow, the tears and the laughter, the bitter and the sweet of life. It's about experiencing the wonder of it all, exploring the mystery, engaging the divine mystery within us and all around us, and each moment, the wonder of it all. Just look at your neighbor and look at the miracle sitting next to you, the wonder of it all. You could even smile at them or make a face at them this morning because they are amazing. Yeah. See, it's a choice that each one of us makes in each moment to be kind and compassionate, to be fearless and courageous playmates in the world today. And play truly is about having the wonder and the reverence for life in all its fullness, warts and all. Yeah. To be a planetary play citizen, to play full out in the kingdom, the queendom of heaven on earth, and to travel light and free with the beginner's mind, the flexible soul, and the big, wide open heart of a holy fool. A holy fool. And I believe deeply, and I know a lot of you join me in this, that I believe that Jesus fulfilled the perfect description of the holiest of fools. His words, his stories, his behavior fearlessly brought into focus the oppression of both the powerful Roman Empire with its politicians and its politics, and the Jewish temple's rigid restrictions, the structure of the law, the rigidness of the law, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And his poor peasant followers, I think unity was the beginning of his followers. I really believe this. Didn't miss the humor in his parables. Because we, as unitics, understand the deeper knowing of those parables. Reverend Luce shared one last week. It was a beautiful story about the talents. But you know, we don't miss the humor in his parables that poked fun at the rigidness of the structure of their society, and we don't miss it either, do we? No. Jesus was a holy fool in deed and in word. And there's nowhere in the scriptures, you all, that you'll find that Jesus laughed. We're aware of that. But we all know he did. I mean, really. You know? We all know he did. Because his favorite people were children. And how could you not laugh to be around children? I can't conceive of a Jesus that didn't want to laugh and did laugh on a regular basis. And probably even told jokes, you know? Perhaps the authors of the Gospels didn't mention his humor since they believed that the Son of God was really serious business. Did we all take that on if we were good Catholics? Or good Baptists, or, you know? Yet, you know, it's said that we're made in the image and likeness of our Creator, so humor, so much a part of our humanity, must also be holy stuff. Do you know the story about how the Apaches talk about the creation story? Anybody know that story? About how the Great Spirit, the Creator, delighted in making those first humans. How they could do so many things, dance and sing and run and hear and make stuff up with their hands. And that Great Spirit wasn't satisfied. Wasn't satisfied. There was something missing in those first humans. So God took the human being back to the human being creation drawing board and experimented and put a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And at long last, one final ingredient, the one final thing that was missing became clear. Do you all know what that was?
Humor.
Laughter! Yeah, humor. And when the first humans were given that essential element, they laughed and they laughed and they laughed and they laughed, and only upon hearing them laugh, whoa, did God say, now you're fit to be human, because boy, oh boy, are you going to need it. Stop! So, like the Apache story, in all great traditions, we see a apostle of laughter, a prophetic clown, the kachina, the holy fool, the trickster. Among the native people, they had the coyote. And in the Buddhist traditions, there's good old Puta. That old jolly wandering Zen monk that carries a big bag of junk on his back. And he would enter the village and empty his bag of bits and pieces of junk, and it was a cast-off sandal or a broken pot, and his clowning served to mirror how much junk we carry around in life. How much junk do we carry around thinking it's valuable? A very wise fool. And in Islam, we have our share of Sufi fools, the whirling dervishes. And in Judaism, there's wonderful tales about a cosmic rabbi who, by his humor, revealed the great wisdom of the Torah. It said the fool learns from the teacher learns from the wise one, and the wise one learns from the fool. And certainly St. Francis of Assisi was such a fool. A cosmic clown who took seriously the words of St. Paul. Let us be fools for Christ's sake. On the other hand, we're told, for Christ's sake, stop being so foolish and grow up. And if you step out of line, we're told you can't buck City Hall. For Christ's sake, be reasonable. Or we're told to be patient, that change comes slowly. You know, don't hurry up. You need to surrender to the system. And we all know that that's not true because change is happening so quickly. Do you all know that? I mean, do you feel that? Change is happening so quickly. There's an awakening, there's a quickening that's taking place on this planet, in our own lives, and in this community. And we find ourselves not having time to be patient. Everything is accelerated. Wake up! The Holy Fool within us is saying, wake up, humanity. Jesus was not patient with the oppressive, rigid system of his day, the politicians and the politics. He rejected them in nonviolent and very direct ways. And throughout history, we've had holy fools. And that we are being called to be holy fools. You and I are being called today to be holy fools and not go to sleep again. Don't put your hand on the snooze button. Truly, I did that about 5 times this morning. But don't follow my lead. You know? Holy fools are people just like you and me who are making a difference in the world. This world, by taking a stand for what we believe. Having the courage to be spiritual activists, spreading the light in the dark places within us and all around us. And I'm not saying it's easy, it's not. It's painful. Sometimes it's very painful, the dark night of the soul. But man, is it worth it. Becoming a child again. Remembering our divine birthright as co-creators with God. With the beginner's mind and the flexible soul and the big, wide open heart of a fool to reawaken to our divine purpose. Perhaps being spiritual activists in a different way, in a different kind. Acting in the name of love and compassion and understanding to those who could use some holy humor. Certainly in our world leaders today. Everyone is waiting to be asked to play. Play is a divine invitation to oneness, to enter the mystery of God play. You've been looking for your divine playmates all your lives. I know you have, because I have. Our inner playmate, the sacred relationship we have with ourselves, our outer playmates, our sacred relationships that we have with each other, our divine playmate, our sacred relationship that we have with Creator God. On this, our divine playground, our sacred relationship with this beautiful planet we call home. Heaven on Mother Earth. Home, heaven, is a choice we make every day, not a place that we find in the hereafter. We create heaven on earth every time. Every single time we say namaste. Look at your neighbor today, right now. Namaste. Namaste. About 1985, 86, my husband and I, Reverend Bob McCartney and I, rewrote the words to a very familiar song that I want to share with you this morning. This is It's the song, Send in the Clowns, which many of us know. One tiny seed covered with earth waits for the promise of new life, waits for the birth. Where are the clowns? I see a few out there. Would you be rich? Would you be rare? Would you go all through your life with so much to share? Knowing that giving of yourself brings happiness now. Come be a fool. Love without fear. Cover your face with the light and spread your child's cheer. Giving of yourself brings happiness now. Come be a clown. The world needs more clowns. Come be a fool. Love without fear. Cover your face with the light and spread your child's cheer. But where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. They've got to be here. Right here. One tiny sprout nudging through earth looks round for a clown to herald its birth. But where are the clowns? I see you. There've got to be clowns. Praise God, they are here. Oh yes, right here in Citrus County. So many of you know that's been alternative ministry for me for many, many years, as I shared in the message this morning. But, you know, we've had quite a ride here, haven't we? Wow! Have we had quite a ride?
Yeah.
You know, I remember back 5 years ago, and I remember being your minister for 5 years, and my heart is filled with appreciation and gratitude for all of the divine opportunities that I've had being your minister. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve here. You have no idea. Together, we have grown together in greater expressions of love. We've challenged each other, and we've gone through many, many changes. All good, all God. When I visited this church many years ago, I was so impressed. Before I was minister, I was so impressed with the loving energy here and the genuine hospitality that I felt here. And it's only gotten better. It's only gotten stronger and more vibrant over the years because of you. The light of God truly shines here at Unity of Citrus County. The love of God is truly
felt and experienced here. And over the years, I've been privileged to offer some of my favorite teachers, my favorite teachings, among them the visioning process and prosperity plus and attitudinal healing and saging and heart partners prayer process, the mastermind process, the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, how to pray without talking to God, holy foolishness, and heart math, praying from the heart of unity. And every Wednesday, the silent unity prayer service, and our butterfly release. Oh my God, I love that. Every Easter and the 12 who knew him. Training, board training and leadership training with Reverend Charlene Emanuel, Reverend Pat Bessie, Reverend Beth Head, Reverend Martha Creek. The 4 agreements we studied together, and so much more. We brought in the Dalai Lamas, Buddhist monks. Remember that? We brought them in to share their culture, the sacred mandala, and their spirituality. Rocco Erico, Will Tuttle, Armand and Angelina. Wow, Eddie Watkins Jr., and even Swami Beyondananda. We held a sacred memorial for the Pulse shooting. Do you remember that? We came together and we lit candles and we spoke words of healing to each other and the world. We've also had so many memorials here for our family members that have made their transition. We've had weddings here and baptisms, and we have done it all, and we will continue to do it all. We are a full-service unity community. I've been proud to serve with the licensed unity teachers, Annie and Mary and Gary. Their offerings of spiritual education have been incredible and have helped raise the consciousness of so many, and individually and collectively here in this community. It's been a privilege to support Reverend Luce on her journey to unity ordination. Reverend Luce is one of the most capable spiritual leaders I know, and will continue to serve this community with great faith, centered in God. And I have been blessed to serve on a board of trustees with so many devoted, dedicated, committed unity members. It's been awesome working with the leadership here. It has honed my leadership skills, and I'm so proud to have served with folks like Lillian Smith, Ken Norquist, Albert McLaren, and Larry Mock. I especially want to give thanks to our staff here. Bonnie and Jane Ann and Denise and Lorna and Pat and Betty and Lana and Tom and Michael and Sharon and John and Lisa and the list goes on, are incredibly loyal to the ongoing betterment of this community. Our prayer chaplains, Sunday morning service team, and I couldn't leave without giving thanks for the people that were here when I got here. Jim and Becky and Gail and even Harvey, and Ty, and so many more. The list goes on, and you know who you are. There have been many changes in the last years. That which has not changed is the wholehearted, open acceptance and authentic love that we have for each other. There's also a deep desire in this community to help Unity of Citrus no longer be the best kept secret in Citrus County. The world needs what we have. The world needs what we have more than ever. More and more folks are coming through those front doors into our sacred sanctuary of the heart right here. So get ready, you all. Get ready with your open arms and your open hearts. I start a new chapter in my life beginning September 1st. I'm retiring. Yay! You know,
I'm 70 years old. It's time to retire. I'm stepping away. I'm retiring from full-time parish ministry. And it's a process. It is a process. A process of acceptance and faith and a deep knowing that the light of God shines brightly on my path and on the path this ministry takes going forward. Do you know how good a hands you are in? So you have blessed me eternally. My last Sunday will be the last Sunday in August. I believe that's August 26th. But I offer my blessings to each of you with appreciation and gratitude. We'll have a month to say goodbye. I remember when I was with Delta Airlines, it took me a year to say goodbye. I had 30 years with Delta. And I remember going into each domicile and each place that we flew into and saying goodbye to the agents, the flight attendants, the pilots, the ground crew. And I took a year of sacred goodbye. And I'll be doing that here this coming month. So please come and give me a hug, and during next month we'll transition and we'll know more about what's going on. But this morning, when I gave my resignation to the board, it felt right to let you know that it's been a joy to serve here, and it will be a joy to leave here, knowing that I'm leaving this community in a better place than when I got here. So blessings. I love each of you with all my heart eternally. God bless. Thank you all. So, this part of our service, we give from a place of knowing that God is within us. Knowing that God is our source, we can give generously, knowing that it will come back to us 100-fold. That we are here to express the goodness of God in all that we do. As we read in the Daily Word this morning, giving is a sacred act of knowing that we are one with the one power and the one presence of God. Will you pray with me our affirmation of giving and receiving? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send forth this gift with my blessings and my love.
Here's a little song I wrote. I want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. You got the place to lay your head. Somebody came into your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to lift again. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I can do that. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no guy to make you smile, but don't worry. Be happy. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Don't do it. Be happy. Just smile. Don't bring everybody else. Don't worry. It's part of the race. Don't worry. Be happy.
Can I get everybody to stand up and say that one time? Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Everybody say that out loud. Don't worry. Be happy. Let's sing in our children. You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. Yay! What you all do today?
Well, we didn't have any 6 to 10-year-olds, but these them.
Okay. So, what did you all do?
So we did some crossword puzzles.
Okay.
Yes.
Used your brain.
Yeah, we talked. We answered some trivia questions for the 6 to 10-year-olds.
All right. That was fun. So did you have as much fun as we had in here? So what did you guys do?
We made class.
Oh, cool. Well, we're so glad you're here. You're a very important part of this ministry, and we love you. Let's bless our children. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. Grab a hold of the person standing next to you, and let's sing the peace song out loud. Prayer for protection. Like God surrounds